Discover the hidden Israelite ancestry of some of the most powerful nations on earth. Watch as Scripture unveils the terrifying future of America and Great Britain as revealed through the sabbatical and Jubilee years. Discover the identity of Assyria and its role in this final Jubilee cycle. Learn of the pending judgments that are to be soon poured out as a result of transgressing the sabbatical years. Sighted Moon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Sighted Moon podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Nall, and I'm here today with Joseph Dumond again. And thanks for coming on, Joe, and taking the time with me.
Thank you for having me again, Ryan. It's an honor. It's always an honor.
Amen. It is an honor. So today we're going to talk about the barley search. But before we get into that, I want to direct everybody's attention to sightedmoon.com. Come and visit us at the website. There's tons and tons of historical information that Joe's already done the research on. So get in on that. It's free. Like, you don't have to pay anything. You can do all that. You can look up all of his research papers on the website. And also, if you're interested in the biblical calendar, if you want to know more about that and the holy days, sign up for the newsletter and you'll get your free PDF copy of the Stones Cry Out Part 1 and Part 2, where he breaks down the whole issue of the proper biblical calendar and supports it with historical evidence and archaeological facts. So be sure to not miss that because that is free. So that being said, let's get into the podcast, Joe.
Right on. So where do you want to start?
So
I want to point out my background here. Do you see the background here?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. This is Israel. This is a picture from Israel as of March 3rd, 2026. That's the year we're doing this.
Yeah.
That's what Israel looks. So most of the time people look at Israel and they think of desert and
right,
dried
barren.
up stuff.
It's like barren mountains, rocks, desert.
This is what it looks like. And this is just one type of flower, right? There are so many flowers, so many hills, so many pictures to choose from that I could put up here just to show the beauty of the land of Israel.
Right. And and it must have been so even in Jesus' day to make him say what he said in Matthew 6:28.
Yes.
And he said, "Why are you anxious for clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They do not toil, nor do they spin. But I say to you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these."
As good looking as I am, you can't duplicate this.
No, you can't.
And again, so we are looking for the barley now, and we are scanning all these pictures from Israel to get an idea of how close we are. That's part of what the problem, or not the problem, part of what we're doing. What?
That leads me to my first question. Why is the barley important? Why are we searching for the barley?
That's a great question. Where is it in the Bible? I'll throw it back at where is it in the Bible? Okay, so where does it say you have to have barley? It's a great question.
Well, it is in the Bible. I know that. Well, you have to have barley for the wave sheaf day.
So we go back to, it's in Exodus 13. And I'm gonna can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna share my screen. Exodus, and those that are watching can see this. And Exodus 13, verse 4. So I'll read it before I go to the translation. You are going out. This is the very first time the word Abib is mentioned. Mm-hmm. You are going out this day in the month of Abib. The month of Abib. So what is the month of Abib? And the month of Abib...
When everything is right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's not it at all. So that's why it's important to understand this. So here's the Paleo Hebrew Abib. So you can see the Aleph and the Beit. Aleph represents a bull, the Beit represents a house. So it's like God's house. Mm-hmm. It's a pictograph of a bull, represents strength, and the Beit represents the tent. So the strength of the tent, God's house. Combined, these mean the strength of the house. This can be the tent poles, which hold up the tent, the house, as well as the father who holds up the family and the household. An exchange from an A and B to a P. Okay, so Abib. Okay, so here it is. The support of the tent poles. Now here's another trend. Same Paleo-Hebrew, Aleph, Bet, fruit. Fruit. So now it means the tent, the strength of the tent, the father's tent, but it also means fruit. This word can also be fresh fruit, the father of the next generation of trees attached to the tree. Father, the father of the family, provides the strength, support, and structure to the household. The father fulfills many functions for the family. Think about this. Why does this keep going back to the father? He was the commander of the family, army, provider of offspring to continue the family. Okay, so there's the fruit part.
Okay.
So a noon, if we had a noon in there, that'd be like the seed. A father can be of the immediate family of a lineage such as Jacob, who is the father of the Israelites. A father can also be the patron of a profession or art. But the Aleph represents not Jacob, but Yehovah. So that's, again, telling you what this is. So this is the first fruit that we're seeing this mentioned. The desire. So Aleph, Bet, Hey. Aleph, Bet, Hey. The desires of the Father. Okay? Aleph, Bet, Bet. So now I'm going to test you a little bit here, Ryan. What does that say? Can you say that word? Just reading that word, Aleph, Bet, Bet.
Abib? Abib?
Abib.
Yeah.
Abib. That's what it is. And it means a grain. Okay, so all these words, so the root word is Aleph, Bet. Now an extension of the word for grain is Aleph, Bet, Bet. Abib. Now the B and the V are interchangeable, so you can say Abib or Aviv. Okay? So now we got Aleph, Bet, Yod, Bet. Aleph, Bet, Yod, Bet. So that's coming from the word grain, and it means green grain. Green grain. The new green ears of growing grain as the parent seeds attached to the stalk pole. Okay, so if you look at a pole, that's what it's talking about.
Yeah.
Again, a pole, the poles of the tent, and on either side of the pole, all the way up, or I can do it this way, all the way up, are the grains of the fruit. Whether it's barley or wheat. In this case, we're talking about barley at this time. So the new green ears are growing grains of the parent seed attached to the stalk or the pole of the next generation of crops. Also Abib, the name of a month in the Hebrew calendar. It's the month of Abib. It's the month of green ears. Green heads.
Yeah.
What do you see behind me? You see the month of
Abib?
red, or no, there's no Abib there.
No? I mean, I
It's
see some
red
green
flower.
in there.
That's just grass, but it's red flowers, or it's red or white flowers, or purple flowers, or yellow flowers. It's the month of flowers right now. It's beautiful. It's beautiful there, but it's not the month of green heads. So the barley comes out towards this time of year. Exactly when that's what we have to go check.
Yeah.
To make sure. So that's what we're looking for is green heads. Abib. So what does it say back here? This day came you out in the month of Abib. That was Passover when they left. So the month of Abib, let me see what else we got here. The month of Abib is the month of green heads. It's not the month of brown heads. It's not the month of no heads. It's the month of green heads of grain. So there's desire, wineskin, hostility, envy. So Abib, fresh young barley ears. Barley. Right? So it's talking about barley. Fresh young barley ears. Month of ear forming. So when the barley comes out of the grass, it forms these ears or of grain. That is what's taken place. The greening of crop or the growing of green Abib, month of Exodus and Passover. So they say March and April. The tombstones, you tell everybody to get our book, the Stones Cry Out. In the book, we have 40 tombstones from the south end of the Dead Sea telling you when the sabbatical and jubilee years are. 12 of those tombstones tell you that they kept the month of Abib as early as February. So it's not just March and April. It can be February, March, and April.
So this is the reason why you go to Israel to verify that you're in the month of Abib if the barley is coming up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let me just finish reading this, then I'll get off the screen. Abib. So there's how you pronounce it, Abib. From an unused root meaning to be tender. Tender. Okay, so we got green heads. It's got to be tender, right? Tender and green heads. Tender and green heads. Got to remember that. That is from a young ear of grain. Hence the name of the month Abib. It's not from the brittle part. It's not from the when it's fully formed heads. It's tender. See, it's very important that you read the definition here. So, tender and green ears. So, I learned this from Nehemiah Gordon. Now, last time you and I talked, we were talking about Nehemiah Gordon.
Yeah.
He began doing this in 1988. He began going out, searching for the barley, searching for the crescent moon. He started to restore the calendar that used to be in the time of the temple. So he began doing that then. He began to learn it, study it, take people out and examine the barley. And then I learned about it from him in 2005. And I immediately began to obey it. I was hesitant. I was not sure. I was on the Hillel calendar at that time.
Yeah.
And was he right? Man, he has all the scriptures to back it up. Was he right? So I didn't know if he was right, so I did it anyway. And that's when I was shown that Passover in 2005, all about the Sabbath and Jubilee cycles. So by my obeying, Yehovah opened up my mind to understand these other things.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know, nobody else didn't know about it at the time because I was trying to find somebody that did. So he started that. I obeyed it. And I listened to everything he said. I've gone over on a couple of searches with him at Passover time in 2009, 2010. But when I was there, they were already cutting the barley before Passover. And I didn't understand that. And it didn't make sense to me. Like, the farmer knows when to harvest his crop.
Right.
So, anyway, I kept that in the back of my head. I didn't understand it. We get down to 2016, and somebody shows me the barley is already ripening. And it's going to be a month before. So we have Devorah Gordon now doing it. We had Nehemiah doing it up until 2016. Yoel Halevi is doing it after 2016 with Devorah. And Rebecca Bitterman began to do it after that time as well. She was doing it before that with Brian Convery, and Brian Convery started doing it back in 2005.
You said Nehemiah was doing it up to 2016, so like he's not doing it anymore, or
he quit doing the searches himself.
Oh, okay.
So he was getting a whole, like, the brethren are such imbeciles sometimes.
Right.
They attack and they criticize and critique those who are teaching them. Instead of trying to help them to better understand, they attack. So Nehemiah had enough. He doesn't, he said, let other people do it. And he even suggested I do it. and I didn't think I could do it then. But all these people are now searching, and because of Nehemiah, we're all starting to keep the calendar the way we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So the barley is what determines the year, and the crescent moon is what determines the first of the month.
Right.
These are not things that are found in the Hillel calendar. The Hillel calendar was created to try and preserve those things because they were being chased out of the land. And in 538, Hillel created this, 539. The tombstones testify the first time it's being used in 431 and 444. Before that, they were using the crescent moon and barley calendar. That's what the tombstones show us. So that's important. So in 2016, I see the barley is already got dough in the head. 30 days before. Nehemiah has already declared an 8-hour bet. And we separated from him and we kept it the month early.
Yeah.
And that caused a big stink amongst the brethren. So Nehemiah went out on Wave Sheaf Day in 2016 and showed us that the barley was indeed Aviv and shattering. So the Wave Sheaf Day can come on the 14th day or the 15th day of the month, or it can come on the 21st day of the month, because each year is different, and Wave Sheaf Day is always on the Sunday. So in Leviticus 23, it tells you to keep the first fruits offering on the morrow after the Sabbath, which is the day after the weekly Sabbath during the days of unleavened bread.
Right.
So that year in 2016, we had right till 21 days for the barley to be Aviv, or almost that far. And Nehemiah went out and he confirmed the barley was Aviv. But because of a takanot, or a traditional law that you've added and made it Torah, but it's not, many of the Karaites today now say that the barley has got to be Aviv by the end of the 12th month, which is 3 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks before Wave Sheaf Day when you need it. So you can look at the picture behind me. We're getting close.
Right.
Right? Like, look at the beauty of the flowers and the grass. We're getting close. You can also look at the start. The start, when this first sprouted out of the ground, was after the heavy rains in October, November. And it started coming out of the ground towards the end of November. So we've got pictures before that, but we're not going to count November. We're just going to count December, January, and February. And we'll just say February is a 30-day month, just for easy figuring.
Yeah.
That's approximately 90 days. The barley, from the time it comes out of the ground until it's ready to be harvested, is about 90 days. So we are going over there at the end of what we call the 12th month. Many others are saying this is only the 11th month. I'm trying not to get everybody confused here, but we're talking about two different calendars, two different systems.
Right.
So we separated from Nehemiah in 2016, and we've been doing this every year, and we've been almost 30 days ahead of them almost all the time. Because we're looking for the first fruits of green heads of barley that can be roasted and turned into a wave offering on Wave Sheaf Day.
Yeah.
That's why we're going. Now, in 2024, 23, 22, 2022, Randy Cates and I, he's a fellow Texan of yours, he and I began to go to Israel to check the barley ourselves.
Yeah.
And something was changing. Devorah was 30 days later. Becca was still in line with it, but then Becca changed her system so that she had to have barley by the 10th day of the month of what would be the month of Aviv. And so that was her takanot that she now developed. But that still left between 5 on the 15th, or if it was at the end of 7 days of unleavened bread, that'd be 7 and 5 is 12 days. that gave us an extra week and a half for the barley to get ready. If
Yeah.
it wasn't ready by the 10th day. You're going to say something.
Yeah, just question, like, why are they trying to pin down a date? Well, I gotta have the barley's got to be a beef by this date or that date, or we're doing an 8-hour bet. And just for the audience, an 8-hour bet is an additional month to the year,
It's
right?
a 13th month.
The 13th month. So, I mean, my understanding, I mean, and I just try to look at everything from like a top-down simplistic view, like the macro view, which is like if we've got the green heads and then we wait for the sighting of the new moon, we're in the month of Abib, right?
Yeah.
Is that too simple of a understanding?
Sort of. Not really. It's so the only reason we look for barley is to make a wave offering on the day of on the Sunday during the on the Sunday during the days of unleavened bread, the morrow after the Sabbath. That's why you need a wave offering of barley.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nehemiah and Devorah and Yoel, they now believe that you must have barley by the end of the 12th month so that you have time to get ready for Passover 2 weeks later.
Okay.
So that's the takanot that they've now developed, and that's what they've done. Devorah, Rebecca has also done a similar thing, but now instead of at the end of the 12th month, she says you got to have it by the 10th day of Aviv. If the barley's not right in the 10th day, that would give you 4 days to get ready for Passover.
Yeah.
Our approach is different.
Okay.
So, and you, the listener, have to decide, but you can look at all these searchers, barley searchers, and look at what they're presenting to you, but you got to decide. We believe you got to have barley that's roastable by wave sheaf day. And if that's the last day of unleavened bread, that's when it's got to be ready by, which means you're going to keep Passover and unleavened bread and not know if it's ready some years. And I've actually done that. We've kept it some years and we didn't know if it was actually going to be ready. And it was ready, but if you didn't keep Passover, you would have missed it. But the barley was ready. So that's the difference. Now, Nehemiah's done an interview with one of the, I forgot what she does. She's an interviewer of the letters from the Middle Ages of the Karaites. And the Karaites came back to look and see if the barley was ready. Mm-hmm. And they would go down to Ruama, where it's just one of the places we go to.
Yeah.
And they would search there. And they found out sometimes that they were keeping Passover at the wrong time in Europe based on the evidence in Israel.
Yeah.
And they would go back and they would change the rest of the holy days to get in line with the way it was back in Israel.
Yeah.
They weren't afraid to change, but they wanted to obey God. But because they're so far away, they didn't know if the barley was always ready. So that was a problem that they had. Our problem today is people determining what is ready barley. As I've just read, green heads, tender stalks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Green head, tender stalks. So, but a lot of people have now taken the assumption, and I say assumption purposely, that in Exodus, the barley was destroyed because it was brittle.
Mm-hmm.
That barley is destroyed because it's brittle is approaching a different stage.
Right.
So when you get a head, the other stuff wasn't destroyed because it didn't have a head on it.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a head and it gets hit, it'll get broken off. So there's a stage between tender and brittle that the barley's in around Exodus time, around Passover time. It's a very delicate balance of trying to find when that is.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go and they look for barley that's already brown and brittle at the end of the 12th month, which means it could start shattering before Passover.
Right.
Then you're not giving them the first fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we had a clear demonstration of this. we kept Passover, and we kept it believing that we were doing it at the right time. Other people went out, searched the barley, and then they said before their Passover, the barley is already shattering. The barley is already, we have 3 witnesses saying that the barley is already shattering. In fact, Joel went out and said this should have been harvested 2 weeks ago, which is exactly when we kept Passover. So they testified to our timing was correct. And I'm not blaming them or accusing them at all.
Right.
We need more witnesses.
Yeah.
So last year we brought 5. This year we're going to bring 12. We're training people how to look for the barley, what the land looks like, so they get an idea. We've done it each year during a time of war. And this year's no different.
Yeah.
So we need your prayers. We need your help in doing it. But that's why we're doing it, because we want to worship Yehovah on his holy days according to his schedule,
right,
according to what he says is the Aviv barley. So we believe that if you take, it says in Leviticus 2 that you can take the barley and roast it. The reason you roast the barley is get any water or liquid out of the kernel to turn that into a hard seed that you can now grind. So let's just pause a second. Let's go back and look at some. So the people on the Hillel calendar are all saying we don't need to do this. I'm saying you do, and I'm saying the proof is in the Temple Institute itself. So at the Temple Institute, if you look up the barley or the grain or the first fruits offering, I forget what they call it, but you can read them describe it. So it's a big ceremony. They go out with the priest on the Friday, and they mark the barley. They record where the barley is that's ripe, because barley ripens at different times. Sometimes this section is ready, other times. This is what Ruth is doing with Boaz. Harvesting the barley. It's not always ready in every area. Sometimes you have to come back weeks later. So they go out and they harvest the barley, and they ask, is this the barley? On Saturday night after the Sabbath, they go out before it gets dark, and they say, is this the barley? Is this the barley? They do this 3 times. Yes. Is this the sickle? Is this the basket? Is this the as the sun set? Make sure the sun is set after the Sabbath. So they do all those things, and it's recorded in the Temple Institute. They stack the barley in a stook overnight. They let the grain harden up from all the moisture in the stem until it gets hard overnight. The next morning, they take it, they roast it in a fire to get rid of any moisture in it. They then thresh it. They put it through a grinder to turn it into flour. They take the flour, put it through 7 sieves. They put the flour from that in a large fruit basket, and they throw in frankincense and olive oil and maybe salt. I'm not sure about the salt. And then they wave that at 9 a.m. on the Sunday morning. It's a big deal. But since we don't have a temple, they don't do this anymore.
Right.
But also, since they've come back in the land in 1947, they're not doing this anymore. Still. The Temple Institute is now starting to look for the crescent moon and recording that and training for that, because they know that's how the month began, but they're not doing the barley yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the Christian.
But they do, but I have read this off the Temple Institute website. They go into great detail on the history, on how they cut it, how they kept it, how they, just everything that you need to know about it. It's all recorded there. You can read it off their website.
That's right. And we got it on our website. I just copied basically verbatim from them.
Yeah.
So yes. So, but for the Christian, though, the Christian who's done away with the Torah, doesn't, the 10 Commandments, we don't have to keep those laws.
Yeah.
This is the part that they're missing.
Right.
Like, why do we need the barley as a Christian?
Right.
So you go to Matthew 27. Matthew 27, it says, and Yeshua gave up his breath and died. Okay, that's verse 50. Do you have it?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Verse 50, you said?
Yeah.
And crying again with a loud voice, Jesus released his spirit.
There. So he died. So this is at Passover time. This is the 14th day. That took place on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's put in the grave. So read the next verse. What happened next?
And behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth quaked, and the rocks were sheared, and the tombs were open, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep arose.
Stop. When is this? This is the moment he died.
Mm-hmm.
The moment he died. So what I just explained, on Friday night, Friday afternoon, they go out and they mark the barley. The tombstones being raised up are the first fruits being raised up.
Mm-hmm.
They're being marked. They're being identified. Okay, so now he's in the grave 3 days and 3 nights. That's Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. He's in the grave Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. At the end of Saturday, he comes out of the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Now read the rest of that. Next verse.
Coming out of the tomb after his resurrection, they went.
After his resurrection, after he came out of the grave, at the end of the Sabbath, after his resurrection, what?
They went into the holy city and appeared to many.
The saints, the tombs that were raised up of the saints went into the holy city. How many? We don't know. But Yeshua said before he died, no man had gone to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was in heaven except the Son of Man who came down from him. That means Enoch, Elijah, Moses, David, all the saints. None of them had gone to heaven. It says in Hebrews that those same people I just said all died in the faith, having not received the promise. So, which ones came up out of the grave? I don't know who. You can speculate all you want, but no one's gone to heaven. And yet in Revelation, it says there are 24 elders in heaven. Those 24 elders, the word elders means ancestors who lived and died before you.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get there? There's no way they could get there unless Jesus is a liar, but he's not. The only way they could get there is Matthew 27. Because
Right.
Paul goes on to describe that. He says he led a host of captives, a host of people who were captured in the grave with him.
Yeah.
Wow. That took place Saturday night. At sunset begins the next day. So Saturday night after sunset begins Sunday.
Mm.
And he comes to Mary comes to the grave that night, and Yeshua says, "Who are you looking for?" Says she thought he was the gardener. And then he says, "Mary." And she says, "Rabboni." And she goes, I'm saying she goes to hug him. He says, "Do not touch me, for I have not yet ascended." What's that mean? The Sunday afternoon, he says to the apostles, "Go ahead, put your finger in my hand, put it in my side. Look, I was dead, I'm real, I'm alive."
Yeah.
So what changed? It's the wave offering that's done at Sunday morning at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
That wave offering, the first fruits, is the barley. Does God care about the barley? He doesn't eat. He doesn't need to eat.
Right.
So what's so important about the barley? It's not that the barley is important, it's what it represents.
Mm-hmm.
The barley represents you, or them back then, the first fruits that were going to be taken out of the grave.
Yeah.
That's the first time, other than Lazarus and a couple others, that people were brought back from death. Now we got a mass group of people brought back to death. These are the first fruits, the barley that the barley represented all those years. Now we're coming to see the barley represents the people coming back to life. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, who knows who.
Right. This
That's
is why
the
keeping
first
the Passover and understanding the holy days is important, right? Because Jesus and all of the saints coming out of the graves represents that first fruit offering.
Precisely. Every holy day has a different part of the plan of salvation. And if you're not keeping them, you don't know the plan.
Right.
So that's important. And that's why we go to look for the barley. So it's the restoration of the calendar back to the way it used to be.
Right.
It represents the saints that came out of the grave at that time, but that also tells you something else. That, we have a book called The Mystery of the Jewish Rapture. Ooh, you're talking about the rapture now. Ah! Okay, so what is the mystery of the Jewish rapture? We've just explained it to you. By understanding the barley, because those saints came out of the grave, they were raptured, they ascended, they arose with Yeshua to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
When's the next wave offering? We have a wave offering at Passover.
Yeah.
50 days later is another wave offering. You take the 2 loaves of wheat and you wave them in front of Yehovah again.
Yeah.
The wheat has leaven in it, so it puffs up. But that's the wheat. That's done at Shavuot. That's done at Pentecost Sunday. Yeshua said, we are the wheat, or we're the tares, one or the other. But we're the wheat that's going to be. So this is the next wave offering. And if you understand that, that's when the next rapture of the saints will take place. So that will take place on Shavuot, on the Feast of Pentecost, at the end of this age. And the Revelation says an innumerable multitude plus 144,000 will be raised at the end of the tribulation.
Right.
So at the end of the tribulation, which we're saying is 2033, those saints will be raised up at that time.
The resurrection.
So now, that's right. So if you get the timing of when the barley is going to be ripe, then the timing, so the first fruits, if you get that timing right, then the first fruits of the wheat will also be right for Shavuot. Now, why is this important? Because if we go back to Genesis, Genesis 3:4, whenever Cain and Abel are making an offering, and Abel brings the first of his flock and sacrifices, and the smoke goes up, and then Cain brings the first of his crops and he offers it, and the smoke goes flat. See, I just lied to you and you didn't object to it. He did not bring the first of his crops. It says at the end of the season.
Yeah.
At the end of the harvest season. You got the verse?
So you said it's in Genesis 3, right?
I'm speculating. Genesis 3, maybe 4, when Cain makes the offering.
And in those days it happened, Cain brought to Yehovah an offering of the fruit of the ground. And this is verse 3. And Abel also brought of the firstlings of his flock, of the fat of it. And Yehovah had respect to Abel and to his offering. And he did not have respect to Cain, to his offering, and Cain glowed with anger, and his face fell.
Okay, so let's go back here to verse 3. I got this sharing the screen here.
Okay.
At the end of days, okay, right there, at the end of days. So let's go back to the Hebrew.
And in the end of those days.
In the process of time. So that's what the original Hebrew says. So let's look at time. Time is seter yom. So yom is like day, okay? So let's go back to the word in the process of time. And so there it is, cut. So that is a kuf zadi. So it's a cut. Okay, so cut. What's cut got to do with? It's got something to do with cutting. It's got something to do with the end. The end of something, to make an end by cutting off. What's that mean? Keep reading. End. So it's 7093. 7093, here it is right here. The end of time, of a time period, or a place, or the end of something. The border of a country as the ends. End, after, border, infinite, process. What's it talking about? The end of time, the end of the harvest season.
Right. So in other words, he's bringing it in too late.
So you're to bring the first fruits.
Yeah.
Not the common fruit, not the last of the fruit. But Cain brought the fruit at the end of the season.
Right.
And he offered Yehovah, I don't know, the leftovers, the end, the whatever was left.
The dregs.
He did not give him the very first fruits. That is what we're being told here. So the end of time, the end of the season. So this is important to understand. When Cain made his offering at the end of the season, it wasn't the first fruits. So the first fruits is important. You got to get them to Yehovah and make sure they're the first fruits, the tender green ears of Aviv, just as the wheat is ready to be harvested, the very first fruits at that time got to be offered to Yehovah, not the end of the season. All of this is important to know for the timing of the holy days.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question, this is why we go out to do the barley search.
Right. So that we have first fruits.
So that you can have the first fruits. Again, we don't have a temple.
Right.
But if we did have a temple, we could offer the first fruits.
Right.
But we have to keep the timing correct.
Right.
If the barley is not ready when we go there by Wave Sheaf Day, which is going to be March 8th this year, in 2026, on March 8th will be Wave Sheaf Day if the barley's ready. If it's not ready, we got to add an Adar bet. We did that last year.
Right.
So I'm thinking we're going to be pretty close this year. Based on the first fruits popping up at the end of November, 90 days later, looking at the field behind me, the grass, I can see the boots getting fat with the heads developing in them.
Yeah.
We're going to be close. All we got to do is find it.
One thing that brought me into wanting to learn this and kind of made me fascinated with this too is that in Revelation, Jesus says that he's coming to make a nation of kings and priests out of us. So if we don't understand all of this stuff, then how are we going to be priests if we don't know this?
How are you going to teach it?
Right.
So in the picture behind me, there is grass. And in the grass, and maybe not this picture, but you can see where the heads start to come out. It gets like it's almost like the grass is pregnant. It's about to give birth to this head of green ears. We're almost there. So some of the pictures I see, you can see the swelling in the stem. So we're close. And it's like looking for the crescent moon.
Right.
Is it there? I don't see it. Is it there? I don't see it. You keep looking, you keep staring. Suddenly, oh, there it is. It's been there all the time.
Right.
The barley is similar. So now, why do I have to go search? I disagree with Devorah's and Yoel's reckoning that it has to be ready by the end of the 12th month. For both of them, and for Rebecca this year as well, the end of the 12th month will be possibly the end of our first month of Aviv.
Yeah.
So we will find out who's right again this year by what the fruits are. Will the barley be shattering by the time they keep Passover in April? Or will it be gone before that? Or will it not show up when we go to do it in March?
Yeah.
So we will announce what we find. We'll announce it here with you. Each day. We'll we'll do a little short podcast of what we're finding, introduce you to the group of people that are doing this, and let them report what they see, what they're learning.
I'm really looking forward to that.
So that it's not just Joe Dumont. It's not just, it's a whole bunch of people that are learning how to look for the barley.
Yeah.
We may disagree. I love Devorah. I love Joel. I love Nehemiah, even though we disagree. I better say I love Becca too. But we don't agree on some things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with how whatever it is that you're doing. That doesn't mean we hate each other.
Right.
So when Nehemiah and I first disagreed, there was a huge rift and the brethren were all fighting, and that wasn't right. Nehemiah and I were still talking. We were still trying to reason with each other.
Yeah.
But we accept the fact that we are all looking to obey God.
Right.
We're all looking to serve God. We're doing the best we can with our abilities.
Right.
And if you disagree, you disagree. That doesn't mean you have to, crucify me. That's right. But that's what the Jews did to Yeshua when they disagreed with him.
Yeah.
So again, let's just start looking. If we had, there's 6 million Jews living in Israel right now. Imagine if we had 6 million people out there searching for the barley.
I mean, man,
We've
wow.
got hundreds and hundreds of people going out taking beautiful pictures at this time of year. On Facebook, they have a site called Natural Israel. You can see the pictures. You can be looking at all these pictures yourself
Yeah.
and seeing the lay of the land, seeing where they're finding this stuff, what it looks like. But to go over there at a time that's potentially a time of severe war,
Yeah.
is scary. I am doing this in faith.
Yeah.
I am last year in 24, when we went with our small group, the rockets, they made a truce with Hamas, and the truce started on the Sunday that we arrived. And the week after, we left 2 weeks later. The week after, the rockets started flying again.
Man.
That was an intervention by Yehovah.
Yeah.
The fact that this war isn't started yet with the United States and Iran, is that a blessing by Yehovah? We're about to leave in 2 weeks' time. Are these negotiations that they're having, are they going to last until we get out of Israel by the end of March?
Yeah.
We're going to find out. But
Right.
we're still going. We have a number of nervous people, and I understand that. I'm a little bit nervous. What's about to happen? Are we going to get caught in the middle of a war?
Yeah.
So we need your prayers. We need your help. Again, if you're interested in this information, then it costs money to do this. We're asking you to support Devorah, Yoel, Rebecca, and us, and others that are searching for the barley,
Right.
so that you have multiple witnesses, because that's all we are. We're
Right.
not telling you what to do. We're just saying, here's our witness. You decide. We're going to show you the barley. We're going to show you the green heads. We're going to show you the dough. We're going to show you the fields. You make your decision based on the evidence, because that's all these different searchers are doing. They're providing you
Yeah.
the evidence.
And these
If
are
they're
all
telling you-
contributing factors, right, to the restoration of all things.
That's right.
That's why this is important.
That's why it's important, because the kingdom of Yehovah is going to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go to Egypt and search for the barley in Avaris, where Israel was. And that's a place where I believe they left. So maybe one day I'll get to do that. We'll see. But that's why we're doing it. And I hope you keep us in your prayers. It's important.
Yeah. Amen. Well, I think that's going to wrap this episode up. I think we've gone on for a good, 40 minutes or so. But anyway, all of this is great information. And if you want to get the studies on this and the nitty gritty, you can search it on sightedmoon.com, and you can get the articles that Joe has written about this. And of course, there are publications that he's done regarding this as well. And I
The
think
Stones Cry Out is free, and it has it in there.
I was going to say, I think it's a section in almost every book you've written. so you can find the information is there, whether you want to buy one of the books or get the free publications. Either way, the information is out there. Come to the website and search for it there, and sign up for the newsletter as well. And you'll get a continually updated teachings from Joe every week in your inbox. And those are also great resources that are also free, which is, it blows my mind that this man does so much so much work that he makes for free for all of us to consume and be better off in our walk with God and our knowledge of history. It's just, thank you, Joe, for making all of this so accessible.
No, thank you for helping me to do this.
Yeah.
There is a lot of work involved in doing what we're doing. So
Yeah.
there's a team of people that are helping to make it come about. So I thank them as well. Can I ask the Aaronic blessing on everybody?
Absolutely.
And so as I say this, it's to you. It's to you, Ryan. It's to you, to your kids. It's to your family. It's to you, the listener. May Yehovah shine his face on you. And what that means is if you're face to face with Yehovah, you're in compliance with him. You're in obedience to him. So
Yeah.
may he shine his face on you and open your mind to understand his Torah. May he you have to ask for the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding. May he give this to you so that you can understand his Torah. The things I'm saying today, it may sound strange to some people. Like, where did he get that from?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm quoting Ryan when I say that. Where did he get that from?
Right.
This guy's a nutcase.
Right.
May Yehovah bless you with knowledge and understanding and the wisdom to know what is truth and what is not. And may he give you his peace. Shalom. So again, the word shalom means the Shin Lamed Mem, to shatter the authority of chaos. You only have peace when Satan's authority is destroyed, when all the false teachings are destroyed, when you are obeying Yehovah and not mixing it with false teachings.
Yeah.
Then you'll have peace. So may Yehovah give you his shalom, his peace that surpasses everything. And if some of the things we teach you here at SightedMoon.com help you, then awesome. Thank you for letting me be a part of that. But open up your Bible and study Yehovah's Word and learn it there.
Yeah.
If you've got questions about the things you're reading and we can help you understand them, then great. But open up his Word and study his Word. So may Yehovah bless you and keep you and give you his understanding so that you have the great peace that comes from his Word. And I ask this in the name of Yehovah for each and every one of you listening. Amen.
Amen. All right, that's beautiful, Joe. Thank you. And feel free to, again, we're on the website, but also you can get us on Apple Podcasts. You can also
and like us on Apple Podcasts.
Please give us a good rating on the Apple Podcasts. It helps us tremendously come up on the algorithm on there. And also, we're on Live 365 24/7. We're playing teachings, we're playing music, we're playing book narrations, you name it. We've got something going at all hours of the day. So stop by there. You can just search us up, Sighted Moon, on the Live 365, and we're on the radio there. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Shalom.
Shalom. Bye-bye.
Bye.